Real essence of beauty is highly profound. There can be so much that the beauty that we look at in the world is very ambivalent when it comes to being caught on the fence of not deciding what clothes item I should wear, or not being able to decide what thing I should have for dinner. Anything that is beautiful and nurturing to the soul and body and mind can encapsulate beauty. And Venus in the sign of Libra is all about beauty. I'm Everett Cordy, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing placement of the planet of love and relationships in the sign of partnerships and co-creation. So, Venus in Libra is really what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you have this placement in your natal chart, you may be a Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, or Sagittarius. If you are one of those signs, your Venus may fall in one of those signs. So if you want to know your Venus sign, you can go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology and put in your birth information to be able to find out which sign your Venus is in. And if your Venus, so if you were born um, from July 22nd all the way until December 20th, then you may have Venus in Libra. So if you were born between that span of between that time period, you may have Venus in Libra. So delving into this particular placement, the very first thing is that Venus in Libra does not want to rock the boat. It doesn't want to cause havoc or conflict or mayhem or disruption. It wants things to be very stable, but not in a Taurus-like way, not in like an earthy-like way, but in an intellectual way. Because Libra is a masculine intellectual sign, and Libra is the only sign that is ruled by an inanimate object, which is the scales of balance and justice. So they're very peaceful. But, they're the peaceful warriors. They want to make peace. Well, peaceful warriors is more Mars and Libra. We're going to get to that when we talk about Mars and Libra. But they are all about peace. They're wanting their surroundings and their environment to be peaceful and harmonious, and they want to cooperate. They want to um be very considerate of others and go along to get along at their best, at their worst. It's a double-edged sword here. But they can be incredibly cooperative. Now, they understand what it takes to make a good relationship. They have an innate natural understanding of the give and take that a relationship needs. And they're very good at compromising, finding the win-win situation, finding the happy medium in between what you want with the other one. They're masters of compromise. They are experts at compromise. Now, you're all about karma. Libra is a sign that can be related to karma. Saturn, the lord of karma, is exalted in Libra. So, Libra deals with karma. What you put out into the world comes back to you. If you put out good to the world, it comes back to you. If you put out bad in the world, then you're going to get bad, disrespectful, very negative events occurring in your life. So, you're a very big, firm believer on karma, treating others the way that you wanted to be treated, treating others with respect and getting respect and love and care back in return. Mm. So you want to make life easy and lovely for others. So much so, you're so focused on seeing yourself through others' eyes. You're so focused on others and making others happy that you may merge with others and forget to assert your own identity. So, put yourself first, take care of yourself. Decide on what you want, on what you need, instead bending over backwards for the other person just to make them happy, just to avoid conflict. And that is the shadow of Libra. For there to be true peace and harmony, there has got to be some conflict. The conflict is not going to make you further away from the person. What actually will make you feel further away is if you keep pressing the issue and pushing it down under the rug like it doesn't matter, like it doesn't need to be acknowledged. When you assert yourself, when you have that conflict, then true peace and harmony can reign. It can remain. It can be stationary in relationships. And so that is a lesson that Libra learns, or Libra placements learn throughout life. And my moon is towards the end of Libra, so I probably had past incarnations working on my Libra and people pleasing energy. And I do not relate to being a people pleaser. I don't agree with it. I don't relate to it. Um, that's what I want to say here. Um, So the focus needs to be balanced. You need to focus on your inner world, what you need, and the outer world, what others need. Both and here, not either or. Um, now, don't dim your feelings. Don't repress your feelings when your mind needs, when those emotions need a seat at the table. Feel them, allow them to be there, but balance out feeling with intellectual, rationality, feeling and logic. Balancing these two things out is your mastery this lifetime. Um, and so you can be very clear-headed, open-minded. Also, you're very, very good at not just ramming in full charge to a decision. You're good at weighing out all the pros and cons. You're good at seeing all the different angles of a decision or an action before taking action, weighing out all these different things. Compassion and prosperity, thinking how is this going to affect others? You're very good at weighing out all the options and then taking action from that place of looking at all the options first and then making the decision to act. Um, so and you're very good at the middle ground with moderation. You're very, very good at getting right to that middle place, that middle way. Um, Aesthetics in your environment are very, very important to you, from the clothes that you wear, from the paintings in your house. You want to surround yourself with beautiful things. Now, you are all about harmony in those relationships. That's what you are all about. Forming harmonious relationships, which is very, very important to you. Extremely important because you want to create balance. You want everything to be balanced, everyone to be treated equally, everybody to have the same size of a piece of the pie. Everybody is equal, everything is fair, everything is just, nobody is left out. Togetherness is a very Libran concept. You're also a romantic. Now, Libra is an air sign. We do have to remember that. Although it is the water air sign, um, it is kind of detached. Um, it is very um, it doesn't want to get too involved emotionally. That's what I want to stress here. It can be detached. It has an intellectual approach to relationships. So that's your approach if you have Venus in Libra. So you're great at problem solving and negotiation as well. You may be extroverted, you may be very, very friendly. You like to go out and have fun if you have this placement. You're very approachable, you're very congenial, you're very accommodating, and you're very easygoing, laid back. You carry yourself with grace. And this easygoing, relaxed quality is a huge part of what others are drawn to you for possessing. Now you put out gracefulness and kindfulness into the world, and you have luck in socialization and relationships. You have an excellent, excellent sense of style and fashion. You're very beautiful. You have very, very good manners. You know how to behave and get along with most everybody in the world. That's a really, really huge point that is very, very important to bring up here. You view people very optimistically, very positively. You see the light in others. You want to see the good, the kindness, the joy, um, in others. You want to see you see the best in others, even if it's a dim, even if the light is dim. You're very, easygoing when it comes to, open-minded when it comes to people. You're definitely not prone to judge others negatively. That being said, if somebody does hurt you, if somebody does wound you or cause pain, it's very, very difficult for you to move on and forgive that person. You're very lighthearted, you make fun conversationalists, you expand your network, very important. You understand the importance of give and take in relationship, you desire fairness in every situation. You may be so concerned with your appearance that you may be vain if this is not balanced out with other energies in your chart. So what can happen is you can become very self-absorbed in beauty and lust and all these kind of things like that, and lose sight of, what you innately know. I shouldn't even have to say it. If I say it, then it would go against my belief system. Anyway, the aesthetics of your environment are very, very important to Venus and Libra people. You have a good sense of everything related to design. You're very drawn to art. You're good with working with others. This is a really, really good quality that you have is being able to work with others, being able to collaborate, teamwork. You can settle disputes, arguments, and law very easily. Um, you're also very, very good at fields that deal with the public. Anything of that nature, you're very good at. Um, it's very, very important for you in your life to let others know how you truly feel about them, what you truly feel, what is emotionally going on inside of you, opening up to others in that way. You want to be in loving relationships, even though you may have a fear of committed relationships, you want to be in deep, loving, loyal relationships. You're very loyal in relationships. Once you set your sights on a partner, you're very loyal to them. You stick to your partner in relationships. You're there for them during the hard times. You strive to improve that upon that relationship. You have tactful delivery and good communication skills. Now, another trait with Venus and Libra is that you need validation, you need the approval and worth of others to define your sense of self-worth. You need others to approve of you, and others boost your self-esteem. Kind of like Leo energy, Leonine energy. And you need somebody in your life to reciprocate yourself, to reflect back to you who you are and whom it is that you desire to be. You have a very, very strong desire to live up to others' frustrations, expectations. You idealize people. That's the negative with this placement, not seeing them for who they truly are, ignoring the red flags. You want to make sure that everyone is satisfied, that everything is fair. It may be hard for you to stand up for yourself in a conflict because you may be naive. You may, go along to get along, and you may leave behind your identity. Take your identity at the door and take it with you. Don't just leave it at the door for to get trampled on and stolen or whatever. Assert yourself. Have a very, very strong sense of identity. Venus in Libra hates disharmony, hates disrespect, wants peace. They want balance and peace in relationships. They can be diplomats. They analyze the people in their lives very critically to determine if they are right for them. Really, really looking at people very, very critically is what they need to step into in this lifetime. They feel better when they have someone around them at all times to keep them company. They need partnership. They need to be with somebody. Um, they're specialist social creatures. They definitely need to belong. Um, and their worth isn't tied to partnerships. Another downside of Venus and Libra is passive aggressiveness. That's another downside. The passive aggressive qualities and tendencies. They're naturally narcissistic. They innately understand how relationships work. If you have this placement, they're very good at social interactions. They may be intelligent, very smart, very charming, very diplomatic. You make your life joyous and entertaining. And in terms of your friendship, you are a very, very loyal friend and lover. You want things to be fair and equal for all the people in the situation involved. All people, you want things fair for all the people involved in that situation. So that is all I have on Venus and Libra in the birth chart. Stay tuned to the next video, which will be on the astrology for the week of October um 26th through November 1st. Um, so tune in for that video coming up in a couple of days. If you're watching this video at the time it's getting published, tune in for that video. If you're watching in a future date, of course, it won't matter to you. But I like to tell you what the next video is at the end of my video. So you can utilize all of the features that you can work with below this video, such as liking, commenting, subscribing, um, and hitting the bell so that you don't miss future uploads. And until my next video, I am sending you my care and love. Bye for now.